Hello book besties, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see again, feels like it at least to me. My name is Ash and you are watching Smoked Shelves. So as the title of this video suggests, this is 22 of my most anticipated reads of the year, 22 books that I would like to get to in 2022. It's a lot of twos. Now this is definitely not a complete list by any means. I have so many books and I'm constantly updating books as I find them that I'm interested in and adding them to a list on my Goodreads, and so I will link that list down below so you can check the 100-something number of books that I have, which is by no means a lot compared to how much is getting published. Those are the ones that piqued my interest, and I update it as the year goes on. But for now, these are 22 of my most anticipated releases from authors I loved before, some debuts. Yeah, I have a good little variety of things. Most of it is queer, just how it is. It's the best literature. Y'all know the deal. If you see me looking in a weird direction, I have everything noted on my laptop. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to remember 22 books. Who do you think I am? So I have sections. I have it broken down into sections of genres, and I did my best to clump them into the correct genre. I know a lot of times books will have secondary genres as well. So the video will be broken down into age range and genre. So I'm gonna work my way up from youngest to oldest age range, and yeah, I'll have timestamps for every section so you can skip around to see what's gonna be out there. So the first section that we are looking at is middle grade, and specifically the one book that I have for you is middle grade fantasy. So to start us off, it is Zachary Ying and the Dragon Emperor by Jiren J. Zhao. And that name is a tongue twister for my dyslexia and my lisp. So my apologies. I feel like I've mentioned this many times now because they're the same author as Iron Widow, and I kept pronouncing their name wrong there too, I think. It is really just a dyslexia moment. Something about that name. But yes, this book is a middle grade fantasy, like I said. I'm excited for mostly because of the fact that I loved Iron Widow so much. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they can do in a younger setting, since I really enjoyed the high pace of Iron Widow, even though I really think it should have been honestly like new adult or adult, but regardless. But yeah, so this is a queer middle grade. From the pitch line, it is basically a queer Percy Jackson-esque type story, which sounds incredible to me. I'm excited for that. That was our one middle grade. I have a few others on my list, but that one is the one that I'm definitely most excited to read. So moving on to YA mystery. The first one that I have is Queen of the Tiles by Hannah Alkoff. And this one is basically pitched as like Queen's Gambit, but Scrabble. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that? I know I do. Yeah, I really need to know nothing more than that. I love board games and word games and all those kinds of brain teaser, brain solving type activities. Scrabble's not my best, it's not my strongest game, but a mystery surrounding Scrabble, like a competitive Scrabble game and competitive Scrabble player, sounds really cool. The main mystery is weird DMs through Instagram, so I'm very intrigued about that one. The cover also just looks stunning. And yeah, after that, we have from the iconic Casey McQuiston, I Kissed Stara Wheeler. Now this title, because the name is spelled like Shara, but it's pronounced Stara, always gets me. I always want to spell it like Stara, regardless. Casey McQuiston, I've loved their first two books. They can do no wrong. In my eyes, I think I will always cherish what they write. They just understand the queer identity so well, and honestly like my age of queer identity. But I'm excited to see what they do branching into YA, especially if it's like a YA mystery rather than just a standard YA, rather than like a YA contemporary, I should say. But the pitch of this one is Stara's love interest kissed 3 people and then disappeared and left notes, and they have to go figure out the situation together. Our main character and her himbos. Very excited for that. The spine of the book, I'm going to see if I can pop up a photo of the spine of the book. Look so good. Moving on to YA fantasy. This is probably my biggest section. Yeah, it is definitely my biggest section of books. Even though I've read a lot of like contemporary this year, I think I'm getting back into that fantasy swing. So I'm excited to see a bunch of releases come out. The first one in this category is from an author that I had read for the first time last year with their release. I definitely want to go towards their backlist and look back there as well. But I'm also very excited for this new release. And these covers are incredible. And that is So This Is Ever After by F.T. Lukens. I read In Deeper Waters this past year. Just loved it. It's so cute. And this one is basically pitched as a queer Achillean Arthur retelling. And I feel like I mentioned this a few times now, author retellings are probably my favorite retelling at this point in my life. So I'm very excited to see that. And I always am here for an Achillean story of it because of the fact that I love BBC Merlin so much, even though it breaks my heart every time. This Is Ever After looks great. The fact that it's pitches at Arthurian retelling and it's queer, please sign me up. So the next one is actually a sequel. It's actually the third book in the series and I still haven't read the second one, but from what I know about how much I like the first one and what I've been told about friends of mine that have read the second one that like the first one like I did, I'm gonna love this one. And this one is Blood Trader by Nani Lynette. Yes, I got the name right. I always want to say Lonnie Nanette, and I know that's not right. I don't want to give this one up too much because it is supposed to be the third book, but synopsis of the first book, we're following this main character and they are in a prison and they are just trying to survive. They have to go through some trials. They're trying to survive. I'll pitch it like that. I promise you, it's very interesting. If you're a fan of character-based stories and don't mind the slower paced stuff, I think you'll like it. It was really good. And I heard the ending to the second book is something. So I'm very excited. With plans to read the second book later this month, I know I will be getting to that third book as soon as it releases. Let's see if I can get this open while there's sirens going. Oh, dang it. There we go. Wait, ready? Ooh, that was nice. Oh yeah, that was much needed. The next book is The Bone Spindle by Leslie Vedder, and this book is Sapphics with Axes. Do I need to say more? I don't think I do. Hot lesbians on the covers is really getting me through 2022. Don't know who decided that this was a year we would put super hot lesbians on the covers, but I'm okay with it. Basically, this book is pitched as Sleeping Beauty meets Indiana Jones, but sapphic. What? Love it. I want nothing more than that. It looks so good. The cover looks so good. Thank you, authors in 2022, for all these incredible retellings. That is all I have to say. Moving on. The next book I have on my list is The Alpha Sun by Penny Jessup. This is a Achillean wolf shifter romance. I believe it's enemies to rivals and there's like royalty involved. Yes, please. I hope it gets a little bit not spooky, but it gives off those like cozy fall vibes. I doubt it will. I feel like it might be set in the summer, but like if it can give that like cozy spooky vibes, I'm down for that too. And this book I saw was pitched as Young Royals meets Teen Wolf. Y'all, whoever's pitching these books is, I just want to talk because y'all are doing great. Y'all are killing it with the pitches. Young Royals was one of my favorite shows this year. Teen Wolf, I have watched a few episodes. I need to get back into that, but I know the vibe, so I'm very excited for that. This next one is Out of the Blue by Jason June, and it is Achillean mermaids. And like I just said earlier, I absolutely loved In Deeper Waters. So the chance to have more Achillean mermaids in my life, I'm down. I'm down. Also, cute cover. It looks, I just hope it's wholesome, you know, wholesome mermaid content, please. The next one that I have is Dauntless by Elise A. Bonin. And this is their debut. It's sapphic Filipino folklore fantasy. I saw it said Filipino inspired. Honestly, I have nothing more to say than what I said earlier. Lesbians, hot lesbians on covers. That's all I want in my life. I said it's a debut. I'm very excited to see it as a debut. It looks really good. The next one I have is The Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. I recently read Cemetery Boys and truly adored it. I know I need to still read Lost in the Neverwoods. Love the first book. Love their debut. So excited for Sunbearer Trials. The cover, y'all, publishing is doing the most in the best way possible this upcoming year. This one is also Mexican folklore inspired. I know Cemetery Boys was based on some Mexican traditions and celebrations, and so I don't know what specifically this is based around, but this one's also Achillean, and of course, like all of Aiden Thomas's works, we have trans rep. And then finally, the last one in our YA fantasy section is, oh, and this is a very long title, so give me a second. Improbable Magic for Cynical Witches by Kate Skelsa. I really hope that's how you pronounce the last name. That was a struggle, my dyslexia, to get out. Holy crap, that took a while. But sapphic witches, cozy, spooky sapphic witches. I know that this one is set in Salem around Halloween time. Please. Thank you, authors. Thank you, authors, for 2022 releases. Moving on to YA Contemporary. This is like my second largest category, so let's just speed run through it. You know, we're like halfway through. Not even. The first one I have is Every Word You Never Said by Jordan Green, and this one is also an Achillean romance. It has disability rep. I believe the main character is mute, or one of the main characters is mute, which I don't see that often / at all in books, so I'm excited to see that representation. And it just looks really cute and wholesome and like look at that cover. Like, look at that cover. So good, so excited. Okay, y'all, this next one, when I saw this as a release, I flipped my shit. This one is Aces Wild by Amanda Dewitt. One of those two. And this one is pitched as like Six of Crows, but the entire cast of our main characters are Ace. I can't. I'm living my best life out here. Yeah, Ace heist book. What the hell? I can't. Unfortunately, this one has no book cover yet. At least as I am filming, I will keep looking for any. Highly on my radar. Cannot wait. Please all drop what you're doing to read that book when it releases. After that, I have And They Lived by Stephen Salvatore. And this one is also a Killian. Again, look at that cover, y'all. I don't know. I'm gonna have to at some point rank all the covers of 2022 releases because so good. Just top tier. They're on it this year. I don't know much about this one. I know it has to do with figuring identities, queer identities. Yeah, I'm excited for it. And then finally, because I sped through this section, we have our last YA contemporary book, which is A Scatter of Light by Melinda Lowe. I haven't spoke about it much on here, but one of my absolute favorite reads of the first half of the year was Last Night at the Telegraph Club, and this book is the companion novel. And honestly, after that, I'm going to read everything Melinda Lowe releases, and I want to go back and read their backlist. But this one is basically following a new character in the world, and it's set more in a modern day time, so it's in 2013 after the US has legalized gay marriage. And I know there's a little cameo between our characters from the original book. I'm so excited. And of course it's sapphic. So yeah, that one can't wait for. Our final YA section. These two, I prioritize them as YA historical fiction. However, they both have fantasy elements to them. So do with that with what you will. The first one is One for All by Lily Lainoff. And this one is pitched as a gender-bent Three Musketeers retelling. Hello? These retellings this year are just on it. I cannot wait. Also, there is Chronic Illness Rep. It's a win for us, besties. It is a win for us with the Chronic Illness Rep. I think they have pots. I believe I saw that's what people were saying. Yeah, come on. What more do you want? The next book that I have on this section is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. It's a spin-off / companion from These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends, and it follows a character in those stories, and y'all know how much I love These Violent Delights. And yes, I will be reading Our Violent Ends before the year is up. Mark my words, it will happen. And Chloe Gong can do no wrong. She cannot do any wrong in my eyes. I will let her break my heart over and over again if it means I can get more from her. That's just the bottom line. This one is an Anthony and Cleopatra retelling, also Shakespeare. I'm intrigued to know which character it follows so badly. I can't wait for the cover release either. That's all I gotta say. So this final section is adult romance. The first one I have is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Beach read and then People We Meet on Vacation have been top reads of mine these past couple of years. A rivals to lovers romance with an editor and their publisher? No, literary agent and an editor or publisher. One of those combos. What more do you want? It's Emily Henry. She always has this like extra layer of something in all of her works that just elevate it beyond most other romances. So I cannot wait. I'm just so excited to read it. And I love that the covers all match. They're like in the same style. It just makes me happy. The next book that I have is You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akweke Emezi. And this one, besides just the cover looking incredible, just a queer POC romance, adult romance. I need to read more of those. And this one looks absolutely incredible. And I've heard so much from Akweke Emezi, and I've been meaning to branch out into their works. So this is a really good way for me to start, and then I think I'll work down in their age levels. I really don't know much about it, but I saw the marketing and I was sucked right in, and I cannot wait. The next one I have is The Romantic Agenda by Claire Kahn, and this one is also another Black romance, but it's got ace rep. Yes, we are winning in 2022. Us aces are winning. I don't know what else to say. Like, if the ace rep doesn't sell you enough, I can give you a better pitch. Let me give you the taglines that I saw the author post. Fake dating. There is a love square. I'm intrigued. It's a grumpy sunshine romance. And then also anxiety rep. Ticks so many boxes. I'm so excited for that. Okay, down to our second to last book already. Holy crap. The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Sarmas. I read The Spanish Love Deception this year. It was their debut. I really enjoyed it. Wasn't a new favorite, but definitely 4-star, really enjoyable. I want to go back and reread it actually and see if my rating will change to actually higher, because I feel like it might. And this one is following the main character of that book. The main character and the love interest, because they all work together. It's one of their co-workers. Yeah, this one is forced proximity based on the idea of the title, roommates. This one is also a slow burn like they did in their first release, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. Finally, we have a sequel to my all-time favorite romance series, and that is Running Wild by K.A. Tucker. Simple Wild was, and maybe is, my favorite romance book ever, potentially only topped by Emily Henry as of right now. And Running Wild follows one of the friends of the love interest from the first, technically 3 books, it was really 2, plus a novella, but the first 3 books, and it is following her romance. And yeah, I'm just excited to be back in Alaska. I'm excited to be back in the world, back in Alaska, back following these characters, and I really hope that Jonah and Calla get their cameo that they deserve. But that's it. Those are my 2022 releases that I'm most excited for. If I am smart enough and make my note now, editing me, I will put up dates of all these releases so you can look out for them. Like I said, I will link below my entire list of books that I have releasing in 2022 that I'm excited for, and I do update it as I go through the year because I am not the best at finding new releases, but I do try to keep up. And one thing that I'm actually very sad about is the fact that I have zero sci-fi on this list because I love sci-fi, so definitely disappointed myself. So my question to you is, do you have any sci-fi releases that you're looking forward to next year? I have a few are on my list, but nothing has sparked my eye yet to that like degree of just like I want to buy you now. If you don't have any like specifically sci-fi books that you're looking forward to next year, or you don't read sci-fi, or you just haven't seen any that pique your interest, let me know down below what is your most anticipated release of 2022. I'm curious. Yeah, comment that. If you like this video, please give it a big fat like down below as well. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. It would mean the absolute world to me if you did. And I hope you stick around, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.